up. And I'm actually very euphoric to be here, so that's my first time using the word. The next person I'll invite to the stage will be our first speaker. The first speaker of the night is in the PET Effective Coaching, and he has to present a speech on any topic. Okay? He is the man without limits. So his crazy act in Carnival was being dressed as Dom Pedro and draw his sword up high and declaring the independence of Brazil, on top of a cashier from Pão de Açúcar. I hope it was not the Caixa Rápido. So that is Leonardo, and his title is We Are Very, 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 Very.
One more.
Very, 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 very young. Leonardo.
Thank you. Apresentação.
Pick.
My time is not yet running, right?
Yes, I'm ready. Go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna talk about how very, 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 very young we are, and how I'm gonna do that. I'm going to take our 13.8 billion years in our universe, compared with our short human existence so far, and I'm going to transpose that in 1 year scale. And then we're going to see how things go. So, you can see that, let's consider that January 1st at night, midnight, it's the Big Bang. So, Big Bang, measure proven fact. But I was told that Big Bang is just a theory, and maybe the universe. It's not, all right? Proven, measured fact. And we even have the sound of the Big Bang. I don't know if you guys have heard before the sound of Big Bang. No? You have? Oh, of course. Of course. And it's amazing, and you're gonna hear that sound now. So it's. Behold, that's science! Once again. All right. So, to be honest, of course, it's not the sound of Big Bang. Microphones were not invented back then. But what this is a computer rendering of two black holes colliding. And this was detected with LIGO. LIGO being that small experiment there, almost 4 kilometers in distance. And LIGO stands for Laser Interferometer Gravity Observer. And this happened a couple years ago. So let's call this now. Let's call this exactly 1 year after the beginning of the universe. And let's say that's just now. So going back, we have the Big Bang. So we have inflation, which is a period of time where the universe expanded, all matter, all energy, everything coming into being. And they grew by orders of magnitude. This taking place in January, roughly. And with this, we have all matter, everything, and we have the formation of stars. And stars starts to show up, and soon as March until May, we have the galaxies, all the pretty ones that we see, and the nice one that we live in. So Milky Way comes into being around May, right? So we have Milky Way there, and we have some hydrogen clouds, and we have some dust, and everything's floating around in the cosmos. And this starts to build up together. And then we have the formation of our solar system. It begins right here, around the beginning of September. So you can get a general idea of how long it's been. So some billion years of formation. And then with the solar system, we have all our nice planets. So who knows the planets? Sing along. Mercury, if you can say it, go ahead. Venus, Earth. That's Earth. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. That's Uranus, not Uranus. All right? It's very different. That's Neptune. And Pluto. Right. Pluto is no longer a planet. Pluto is now just Mickey's dog. Okay? That's the actual photo of Pluto. And of course, back then, Earth was a little bit different from what it is today. Earth was a hot, boiling place, inhospitable, dangerous, completely incapable of receiving life. And we can see like rendering of the primordial Earth. And it's much more like Rio de Janeiro today. It's about the same thing. It's an actual photo of the primordial Earth. I thought this joke was very good.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I had to fix it.
Now you did it.
So of course, what happens then? Oceans, the Earth cools down. Oceans get formed. The atmosphere gets formed. But when you have oceans, you have water, and then chemistry turns into biology, and you have life. So, and we're about in the end of September, and we have cellular life. Of course, just cellular life. 1 billion years later, we have cellular life, but now it produces oxygen. 1 billion years later, what do we have? Cellular life, but now the nuclei is separated with a membrane. 1 billion later, what do we have? Cellular life, but now it's multicellular life. And then something quite euphoric happens. We have the Cambrian explosion, and this is an unparalleled, unprecedented diversification in life. And this happens on the beginning of December, roughly 500 million years ago. And then like sharks and crocodiles and giant octopus and all these demons comes into existence, sharks and alligators and such. Most of them are extinct, some are not. And everything is fine, it's very good until roughly December the 3rd, almost the end of the year. And it's about 65 million years ago. And a meteor, probably the size of a football stadium, hits the Mexican Gulf. And you can see the picture, this is an actual picture also. Like it strikes the Mexican Gulf, so all the dinos, they drop their maracas, their sombreros, and the light of something like 5,000 nuclear blasts light the sky and basically destroys the entire atmosphere. And all but 25% of all life ceases to exist, die in the cold darkness. And that's great, because this allowed us, like these tiny mammals at the time, to flourish. Now you have a sprinkle of good old-fashioned evolution, and then you go from proto-mammals to hominids. And then 1.5 million years ago, we have the first hominids wielding fire. 2,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, us, comes into existence. And then, go from here to here. And then we have, you can see that our time, if it's now with LIGO, 0.3 seconds ago we're inventing microphone. 7 seconds ago we're building the pyramids. 12 seconds ago we have the entire recorded history. So we're basically just taking our baby steps outside our caves. So we have to be very careful what we do with these baby steps and where we go. Thank you.